This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 11th day of November in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. The government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Natural Resources, today signed off on a production sharing agreement for a shallow water oil block offshore Guyana, with a consortium comprising TotalEnergies, QatarEnergy, and Petronas. It is the first PSA to be inked since the signing of the production sharing agreement with U.S. oil giant ExxonMobil and its co-venturers back in 2016. The consortium was among companies awarded oil blocks offshore Guyana under the 2022 licensing round. Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat said the signing of the PSA by TotalEnergies and its partners is a show of confidence in Guyana's robust licensing framework and also reflects the government's commitment to the sustainable development of the country's natural resources. He said the companies bring a wealth of experience with them, and the government is pleased to have them operate in the Guyana Basin.
I want to also thank the three companies that have worked with us over a prolonged period to ensure that we get it right, as we say. TotalEnergies, QatarEnergies, Petronas, for working through this process with the team, so that we can have an ideal petroleum agreement that is acceptable by both parties, and again, that will bring benefits to Guyana and Guyanese. So today is indeed a historic day for us. As I mentioned, it's the forest PSA that we're signing after the 2016 Stabroek PSA, with improved fiscal terms, improved conditions, stronger penalties, but
The Natural Resources Minister also said the agreement is a win-win situation for both the companies and the people of Guyana, who stand to benefit.
Guyana is one of the few countries in the world, and we like to say this because it's a fact, one of the few countries in the world that has actually moved from a local content policy to a local content legislation, defying the odds of many when they said that the local content legislation will close down the oil and gas sector in Guyana, will not attract the big players in the oil and gas sector. Well, today again, we're defying that odds again, because we are attracting major players while at the same time rolling out benefits for Guyanese and Guyanese businesses.
As part of the agreement, the consortium is expected to pay a signing bonus of $15 million to the government. Minister Barrett said the money will be deposited directly into the Natural Resources Fund within a period of 15 days. TotalEnergies has a 40% share in Block S4, while QatarEnergy and Petronas have 30% each. Block S4 spans an area of approximately 1,788 square kilometers, located 50 to 100 kilometers off Guyana's coast, in water depths ranging from between 30 to 100 meters. TotalEnergies Vice President for Exploration for the Americas, Daniel Laranga, said TotalEnergies is pleased to return to the Guyana Basin after 35 years, but this time with its partners QatarEnergy and Petronas. TotalEnergies had drilled the Arapaima well back in the early 1990s.
So it has taken 35 years to come back as operators in this basin. Exploration is about perseverance. It's about technical excellence. It's about strategic partnership. We have all of those elements here today in S4. We have had some experiences as non-operators in the Guyana Basin since about 10 years ago. We feel it's the exact right moment, not only because of the geological potential of the basin. It's a prolific basin that we know well.
He said the consortium is also pleased with both the fiscal and non-fiscal terms of the agreement. The consortium has assured that exploration activities will be conducted in keeping with Guyana's regulatory framework and international best practices for environmental protection and resource management. The director of the Local Content Secretariat, Michael Monroe, said the PSA includes improved fiscal and non-fiscal terms.
We have a new fiscal package. As you would appreciate, previously there was no imposition of taxation, and in this context, we're now levying a 10% cooperation tax. There are also penalties for non-completion of the work program. So the government has taken a position that we want our participants in the basin, the new participants, to be aggressive in terms of their work program. And insofar as they're unable to complete that program, there will be a penalty.
Guyana began oil production in December of 2019. The country has moved from producing an average of 80,000 barrels of oil per day in 2020 to an average now of 930,000 barrels of oil per day. And that's just in the Stabroek block. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. It can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Every year somebody wins, but this year?
This year is my turn.
I'm going big. 48,000? Easy, that's 6 coupons.
Smart and fast. My win is just a scan away. Oh, and I take in that fridge too.
This is the winning one.
This year, the win is mine.
Shop $8,000 or more at any 6 Massey stores, and you'll get a chance to win our grand prize, the brand new 2025 Hyundai Creta, plus amazing consolation prizes. Massey stores, our family serving your family.
Did you know ExxonMobil's Hammerhead project will bring even more direct benefits to Guyanese? Hammerhead is the 7th offshore project in Guyana, and it will add to the nation's growing oil revenue. Oil revenues already account for 37% of Guyana's 2025 budget, and Hammerhead will boost this contribution even further. This means new opportunities, expanded education in the hinterland, and modern technology services to improve healthcare delivery nationwide. Since oil production started offshore, long-term investments have opened doors for Guyanese, shaping the industry and local economy for generations to come.
Welcome back. Let's tell you that Minister of Governance Gail Teixeira today said the government is constantly strengthening public institutions to combat corruption. Speaking at the opening of an anti-corruption roundtable event this morning, Minister Teixeira said the fight against corruption is ongoing.
But strengthening our public institutions is an ongoing effort to also not only to re-look at the structures. Do they work? Are they effective? Do we have the right people in the right spot? Do we have the right qualifications? Do we need to reorganize how we administer in various ministries, statutory bodies, constitutional bodies, to make them more effective? Do we need more training? Training is constant.
In the public service, the Minister of Governance said her ministry has proposed that public servants undergo governance and anti-corruption training as part of the broad public service training program. The Integrity Commission, she said, also plays a critical role in monitoring public officials in accordance with the Integrity Commission Act. She said the government is turning to technology to root out corruption and ensure efficiency in service. The single window system, she pointed out, is among technologies being used to not only increase efficiency in public service, but to also reduce the possibility of someone paying a bribe to access government services.
One of the important anti-corruption platforms that have been created, and the President spoke about it yesterday, the single window platform. Extraordinarily important because we know from different, sometimes anecdotal, sometimes actual real experience, of where the risks are for corruption, bribery, etc. And therefore, the whole issue of land applications and the fact that 13 agencies, from the NDCs all the way up to the Ministry of Housing, have to deal with the applications and the specific time frame for each stage of those applications. So instead of an applicant having to go to 13 agencies, where there are many opportunities and delays and people get frustrated and either they offer a little frick.
However, she admitted that corruption in public contracts remains a challenge and often affect the quality of infrastructure in the country.
For every corrupt act, for example, contracts, means that money that should have been used for quality building, quality road, is siphoned off. And so we get sometimes poorer quality buildings, roads, schools, etc. And so the issue of oversight and ensuring that we're able to reduce opportunities is important.
The anti-corruption roundtable was held under the theme Partnering to Build Resilient Public and Private Institutions in Guyana's Fight Against Corruption. The government partnered with the private sector to examine the progress made on the implementation of recommendations arising from the Inter-American Convention Against Corruption and the United Nations Convention Against Corruption periodic reviews. Discussions focused on key areas such as auditing ethics in private enterprises, promoting integrity standards, developing institutional resilience to prevent and combat corruption, and the use of artificial intelligence as a transformative anti-corruption tool in both sectors. President of the Private Sector Commission, Captain Jerry Gavaya Jr., said combating corruption helps to improve the competitiveness of businesses.
More so, it increases our business competitiveness in the region and internationally. If we can make Guyana the place that international investors would like to come because they feel safe and secure about investing, that is also an added benefit from creating a safe working environment for all the people in the room.
The roundtable is intended to advance the government's ongoing collaboration with the private sector to strengthen integrity systems and build resilient public and private institutions in the fight against corruption. Attorney General Anil Nandlal has indicated that it is the normal practice for the state to which a request was made to pay for the prosecuting attorneys. In the document from the Finance Office of the Home Affairs Ministry to the Ministry's Permanent Secretary, a request was sought and granted for the payment of $62,558 to King's Counsel Terrence Williams of Jamaica in the case of the Guyana Police Force versus Nazar Mohammed and Azruddin Mohammed for extradition proceedings for the period of October 2025. The document also stated that the administration of the Guyana Police Force consulted with the Attorney General, who advised the police force to seek the legal services of a team of experienced attorneys to represent the police force in the extradition proceedings. It further stated that the three Jamaican attorneys, Terrence Williams, Herbert Mackenzie, and Celine Dietrich, were consulted, and their services were obtained to represent the Guyana Police Force in the extradition proceedings. The document also noted the team's experience in working on similar matters, as approval was sought for their payment. The document carried the approval stamp of the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs, along with a signature believed to be that of the same Permanent Secretary, Andre Ali. The document noted that payment will be facilitated through the Bank of Guyana via wire transfer to the funds of Attorney Terrence Williams of Jamaica. The leaked document was released by T. Mohammed's on Monday night after Azruddin Mohammed accused the government of using taxpayers' money to fund the attorneys that should be representing the U.S. interests in the extradition case.
Taxpayers are fully footing all the bills for their hefty legal fees, which will be in the excess of hundreds of millions of Guyana dollars. This includes their flights, their transportation, their security. Their arrangements are fully paid for by you, the taxpayers.
According to the U.S. State Department's Foreign Affairs Manual, in cases of extradition, the fiscal responsibility is to be borne by the requested country, which is the state to which an extradition request is made, and the state to determine if the fugitive is extraditable. In an NCN TV program last night, the Attorney General Anil Nandlal confirmed that the Guyana government would have to bear the costs for the prosecuting attorneys in the matter. He said there is nothing strange about that move.
In this case, because we wanted to avoid and insulate the process from the allegation of political interference, lawyers from outside of Guyana were brought in with the approval of the U.S. government. And yes, the government of Guyana has to pay for that.
The Attorney General dismissed claims by the Mohammeds of political persecution and stated that the Mohammeds have gone on a disinformation campaign as part of their fight against the extradition request. In late October, the U.S. government formally requested the extradition of the father and son to face an 11-count indictment in Florida related to allegations of mail fraud and wire fraud and money laundering related to gold exports and tax evasion claims. The Mohammeds have denied the allegations. In support of the request, the prosecuting attorneys have presented the court with the documents from the U.S. government seeking the extradition. The attorneys told the court that additional documents in support of the extradition will be presented soon.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
It's a 2025 Demrock Music and Entertainment Awards. Let's go!
Even if you're away.
Firstly, dress up, charge up, rise up.
Let him go. I'm from a kingdom where we live by the laws of God, not the words of people.
They all left undone. It wasn't my fault.
Oh, I think it's wonderful have it every single year. All the Guyanese artists. And I think they should show more, Guyanese people should show more support.
I feel amazing. I feel so grateful to be a part of it. So it's great to see the cultures building together and actually building a bridge closer together.
Don't know why I try to find love in these eyes.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say wash it soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash it soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash it soap powder, leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks for wash it soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright, have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Wash it soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash it soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash it soap powder, have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make.
On Saturday the 15th November, the Guyana National Stadium comes alive, featuring Massacre.
Call it bravery, don't call it luck. One aim of the riches, I'm a target up. Lucky business with a son.
Cranium.
Someone on a life, boy, have some girl I heard a start for you.
Chanel Muir. Win an exclusive gate prize of a brand new car.
Get your tickets to see Massacre live in concert alongside Chanel Muir and Cranium at the National Stadium. In Linden, get it from Muslim Top-Up Shop, Bloomingdale's Fashion, Broad Money Spare Parts, Rodney's Court, and Crown Auto Nation Office. On the East Bank, get it from Soesdijk Junction. In Berbice, get it from Rise Burgers. That's in Leisure Inn, New Amsterdam. If you're on the West Side, get it from UK Goods and Consultancy Service West Bank and West Vibes Bar. In the city, get it from Fireside Grill, Stovetop Restaurant, Extra Energy in the Stabrook Market, Pressy's Gift Shop, Grill Kings Mandela, Stefan Simon on 661-9966, M&J Designs at 684-6477, and the Other Wife Restaurant. General tickets are $6,000, VIP access $30,000, and VVIP $45,000.
Security matters to report now. Mayor of Georgetown, Alfred Mentor, has instructed the City Constabulary's Chief Constable to approach the Guyana Police Force on the deadly terrorist attack which took place 2 Sundays ago at the mobile gas station on Regent Street here in Georgetown. The mayor said the Chief Constable must not only seek a greater understanding of the incident, but should also inform the police force of the council's willingness to provide support where possible. Mayor Mentor handed down the instructions after the issue was raised at the level of the council on Monday. It was Councillor Dexter Ford who raised the issue, pointing out that a deadly attack occurred just a stone's throw away from the Georgetown City Council. Pointing to the City Constabulary, Ford said the municipality is also responsible for the safety and security of citizens in Georgetown, and the council must now take decisive steps to ensure such an attack never happens again.
I take it personal as one of the elected officials in the city that under our watch with our city police and the constabulary has the responsibility for some of the security within our city that not far from us, our headquarters, that this should occur. And to date, I'm not sensing the urgency of us to form some special committee, some task force, where we stand up to say, look, that this happened on our watch, and we're going to do whatever it takes to ensure that it doesn't happen again. No.
While admitting that the municipality lacks the resources needed to tackle such crimes, Councillor Ford suggested that the council must devise a strategic plan and seek the support of central government to help bolster security in the city. He reminded that the Christmas season is quickly approaching and citizens must be assured that systems are in place to guarantee their safety and security. Standing in support, Councillor Gregory Fraser said the Georgetown City Council cannot be a mere bystander. He said it is important for the council to engage the police force on the matter and by extension the Ministry of Home Affairs. He said the security forces can provide the guidance on how the council can help to bolster security in the city.
That we as a council must start thinking about what we can do. And we can get involved in security in the city. We can get involved and work with all the agencies in the city. We can start doing policing of ourselves. We don't have because we're councils, we can do it ourselves. We must be looking out, we must have an eye out there.
The mayor said following the terrorist attack, members of the council met with the relatives of Soraya Bourne, the young child who lost her life in the tragic incident. They also met with those who were injured. He, however, agreed with Ford that the city constabulary must be more involved. The Institute of Private Enterprise Development, IPED, has launched a year of activities to celebrate its 40th anniversary. The anniversary is being held under the theme, A Legacy of Empowerment, 40 years of promoting entrepreneurship, transforming lives, and supporting national development. Founded by the late Dr. Yesu Pusol in 1985, IPED emerged from his belief that economic independence begins with opportunity. At the time when private enterprise was discouraged, Dr. Pusol's vision created space for Guyanese to invest in their ideas and rebuild confidence in local businesses. Originally called the Institute of Small Enterprise Development, IPED has grown into one of the country's leading organizations for business financing and development. From a single employee in 1986 to now having 14 branches across Guyana, providing loans and mentorship to thousands of small business owners. Over the years, IPED has issued more than 150,000 loans and continues to focus on supporting women, youth, and people in underserved communities who are eager to build sustainable livelihoods. The organization said its work has been strengthened by support from several international and local partners, including the Pan American Development Foundation, the Foundation for International Training of Canada, USAID, and the Inter-American Development Bank. Private sector organizations such as the Demerara Distillers Limited, Texaco West Indies Limited, and Booker Sugar Company also played key roles in funding the organization's growth. The collaboration, the organization said, helped IPED to earn recognition from the government of Guyana under former President Hugh Desmond Hoyt, who described it to be an institution of national worth for its contribution to rebuilding the nation's economic framework. The anniversary calendar features a number of events, including a national business pitch competition, a mini exposition, a two-day micro conference, and an art competition titled The Spirit of Enterprise. Well, the Guyana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disabilities is urging commercial banks to eliminate discriminatory practices against persons living with disabilities in light of the recent announcement of reforms for the banking sector. In a statement, the Council said it fully supports the initiative to reform the banking sector, as announced by the President, and hopes that commercial banks will ensure that persons with disabilities are accommodated. According to the organization, for too long, persons who are visually impaired have been told that they cannot open a personal bank account because of their blindness or acquire an ATM card due to their disability. Many of the commercial banks justify the position by claiming that they are following their policies. The Disability Council said it must be highlighted that there is no empirical evidence to support such archaic and discriminatory practices. Additionally, the Council said many commercial banks and their ATM locations are not physically accessible to wheelchair users. However, the council highlighted that while there are challenges experienced by persons with disabilities at most commercial banks, there are a few that model inclusion and accessibility by facilitating barrier-free access to financial services for persons with disabilities. The group said with the positive transformation of the disability landscape over the past 5 years, more persons with disabilities have been able to access jobs, which requires them to have a bank account to receive their salaries.
On Saturday the 15th November, the Guyana National Stadium comes alive, featuring Massacre.
Call it brave, don't call it luck. One aim of the riches, I'm a target on. Lucky business with you, son.
Cranium.
Chanel Muir.
Win an exclusive gate prize of a brand new car.
Get your tickets to see Massacre live in concert alongside Chanel Muir and Cranium at the National Stadium. In Linden, get it from Muslim Top-Up Shop, Bloomingdale's Fashion, Broad Money Spare Parts, Rodney's Court, and Crown Auto Nation Office. On the East Bank, get it from Suzdijk Junction. In Berbice, get it from Rise Burgers. That's in Leisure Inn, New Amsterdam. If you're on the West Side, get it from UK Goods and Consultancy Service West Bank and West Vibes Bar. In the city, get it from Fireside Grill, Stovetop Restaurant, Extra Energy in the Stabrook Market, Pressy's Gift Shop, Grill Kings Mandela, Stefan Simon on 661-9966, M&J Designs at 684-6477, and the Other Wife Restaurant. General tickets are $6,000, VIP access $30,000, and VVIP $45,000.
Something new has been growing, and it's now ready for you to pick. Fresh. Taste the Fruta freshness. Pick the fresh new 200 ml size today. Live Frutiful.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guy Oil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guy Oil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guy Oil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. The COP30 Climate Summit opened Monday, with the UN climate chief urging countries to cooperate rather than battle over priorities, as efforts to limit global warming are threatened by a fracturing international consensus. Host country Brazil brokered a deal on the agenda for the 2-week summit in the Amazon city of Belém, deflecting attempts by developing country negotiating blocs to shoehorn contentious issues like climate finance and carbon taxes into the talks. It wasn't clear whether countries would aim to negotiate a final agreement for the end of the event, a hard sell in a year of fractious global politics and U.S. efforts to obstruct a transition away from fossil fuels. Some, including Brazil, have suggested that countries focus on smaller efforts that do not need consensus, such as deforestation, after years of COP summits making lofty promises only to leave many unfulfilled. Trinidad and Tobago has again distanced itself from a regional call for the Caribbean to remain a zone of peace amid the U.S. military buildup and tensions with neighboring Venezuela. On Sunday, Community of Latin American and Caribbean States CELAC European Union Summit participants signed a joint declaration in Santa Marta, Colombia, which contains an article citing the situation in the Caribbean and Pacific and calling for dialogue and cooperation. Although present, TNT distanced itself from that specific point. Last month, the government also reserved its position during a CARICOM meeting on the security buildup in the Caribbean and its potential impact on member states. All others agreed on the reaffirming of the principle of maintaining the Caribbean region as a zone of peace and the importance of dialogue and engagement towards the peaceful resolution of disputes and conflict. In Sunday's joint statement on the declaration, the CELAC states in paragraph 10 that it has declared itself a zone of peace and is committed to the settlement of disputes through dialogue and cooperation, according to international law. It recognized ongoing efforts to achieve peace in the region and noted discussions on the importance of maritime security and regional stability in the Caribbean. And finally tonight, international news. Members of the House of Representatives headed back to Washington on Tuesday after a 53-day break, braving the congestion at the nation's tangled airports for a vote that could bring the longest U.S. government shutdown in history to a close. With more than 1,000 flights cancelled on Tuesday due to the shutdown, lawmakers, including Republican Representative Rick Crawford and Trent Kelly, said they were carpooling to the Capitol. The Republican-controlled House is due to vote Wednesday afternoon on a compromise that would restore funding to government agencies and end a shutdown that started on October 1 and is now in its 42nd day. The Republican-controlled Senate approved the deal on Monday night, and House Speaker Mike Johnson has said he expects it to pass his chamber as well. President Donald Trump has called the deal very good and is expected to sign it into law. The deal would extend funding through January 30, setting the stage for another potential showdown. Within days, however, the U.S. government could be fully functional again, bringing relief to federal workers who have missed paychecks and low-income families who depend on food subsidies. However, it could take several days for the nation's air travel system to return to normalcy. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.